On today's primetime local news, an issue that's divided council as they debate whether to enforce property tax on the Francophone school in the border city.
The charter just gets preempted for an opt-out clause, and on a matter of principle, I don't agree.
And grade 7 students in Lloydminster are hoping to win the National Parks contest with their composting video. Plus, Lakeland girls basketball team wins 4 games in a row and makes history as they head to nationals.
We were saying about how we won our semi and we were just so ecstatic because we were going to nationals and our season wasn't over.
Prime time local news, serving the Lakeland and Midwest regions.
City Council continues to debate the future of the Francophone school here in Lloydminster and which party will pay the building's property taxes. Eric Bay has more on an issue that has divided council.
Because of the wording of the Lloydminster Charter, a document which governs the city, École Sans Frontières is obligated to pay $17,000 in property tax, something that would not happen anywhere else in either province.
Both of those provinces recognize that they would be tax exempt from paying their taxes. So even though we have our own charter, we also are a product of the two provinces amalgamated.
Councillors spent most of Monday debating the wording of the charter and if a tax exemption would go against it.
The charter just gets preempted for an opt-out clause, and on a matter of principle, I don't agree.
So for me, I firmly believe that we're not going against the charter because there is a caveat in the charter that allows us for any nonprofit to exempt them from having to pay property taxes.
If École Sans Frontières is made exempt, the city would be forced to cover $12,000 of the tax, which is seen as provinces downloading costs onto municipalities.
The two provinces say they want it, but they're not funding it. So if that isn't downloading, I don't know what it is. They know the organizations are going to come to the city. We have a new policy called nonprofit organization policy. We just worked on it for about a year. We just introduced it in the last year, and it's out the window when you start doing stuff like this.
Council's decision could be overruled by the Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms, which states that anyone whose first language is French has the right to have their child educated in French.
We have certain abilities, but there's certain, most abilities when it comes to the Charter of Rights and Freedoms. We can't challenge the Charter of Rights and Freedoms today. We don't have the resources, nor would I want to.
Currently, the Lloydminster Charter states that the school division must own the building to be tax exempt. The school is currently being leased. Eric Bay, Primetime Local News.
The Lloydminster Rotary Club continues to support the need in the community by having an indoor garage sale. The garage sale is a fundraising project for the Rotary to help support the youth in the community and other programs they're involved in. The club hopes this will be an annual event and residents will come to support by buying or donating items.
We got all kinds of windows and trim and doors and other household. There's chairs over there, bed, mattresses, tools, like all kinds of things that the community come in and pick some stuff up. And we're going to try and give people good value.
Since 2010, Rotary Club has put in over $600,000 in the community. The garage sale idea started out with contributions from contractors and donations from the Rotary Club members.
We for the most part, live a pretty good life, our lives, and we have lots of stuff, and sometimes it's redundant and taking up space and clutter, so bring it down here. We'll turn it into cash that we can turn it into support for the community's needs.
The garage sale will take place this Saturday from 10 a.m. until 4 p.m. at 4604 62 Avenue, and they're still accepting donations. One local class launched a composting program throughout their school in an attempt to send less waste to the landfills. And our Jasmine King explains how this program may help them win a field trip to BC.
A grade 7 class at College Park School entered Canada's Coolest School Trip contest put on by Parks Canada, which is awarded to one school in the country.
The grand prize is a 5-day trip to Kootenay National Park, which would involve staying in Kootenay National Park as well as visiting the Burgess Shale, the Stanley Glacier, the Radium Hot Springs, as well as the park, and learning about how parks manage forest fires.
The grade 7 class started a composting program at the school as part of the contest.
A video that details how they promote conservation in their area. This year we are starting a composting program at our school, and then we are going to promote that same program to other elementary and middle year schools so that we could get a composting program started everywhere so that we have less waste going into a landfill and more into the composting program.
They made a video submission for the contest, and in order for them to win the trip, the community has to vote.
Voting from the community takes us to the next step, to the final step of the contest. So one, we had to enter our video to be approved to enter the contest. There are 28 other schools also in the contest. When people vote for us, what that does is gets us into the top 10, and at the top 10, those are then judged by a panel.
The students helped make the video, and they're very excited in hopes that they might get to go on a trip.
I helped film the video of it, and now our whole class is working on posters, videos, announcements for our school to advertise it everywhere.
I'm most interested in either the hot springs or the Burgess Shale. It's like a fossil thing. That looked cool.
People can vote for the class at coolestschooltrip.ca, and you can only vote once a day until March 20th. Jasmine King, Primetime Local News.
Lakeland College are set to welcome prospective students as they prepare to host information sessions this week. The sessions at the Lloydminster campus will be taking place Thursday, March 12th and Friday, March 13th. There will be more at the Vermilion campus. Anyone is welcome to attend and get more information on the school for general or specific programs.
Information sessions is an opportunity for prospective students and their families to come on campus and check out Lakeland, to our residence facilities, learn about financial aid, talk to instructors and current students so they can really learn about Lakeland.
The sessions will be taking place all day, and local residents as well as others from across the province are expected to attend.
You can specifically focus on a program. So you can learn about our hairstyling program. You can learn about esthetician, our university transfer. So you can go to specific sessions tailored to your program that you're interested in.
You can find more information and hours at lakelandcollege.ca/info sessions. And now let's take a look at your evening weather with our Abby St. John.
Thanks, Judy. Taking a look, it's currently -2 here in Lloydminster, mix of sun and cloud. We didn't have as of a nice day that we did have yesterday, but it was still fairly nice out. Winds coming out of the south at 21 kilometers per hour, making it feel closer to -7 with that wind chill. Current temperatures across Alberta, 0 in Cold Lake and out in Jasper, 1 in Edmonton, 3 out in Athabasca, 6 in Whitecourt, 5 in Edson, and 4 in Red Deer and Rocky Mountain House. And on the Saskatchewan side, -1 in Meadow Lake, -3 in Melfort, +3 in Saskatoon, and -2 in North Battleford and in Prince Albert. And then overnight in North Battleford, it will drop to -6, and that wind will be coming out of the southwest at 9 kilometers per hour. And there is a bit of a chance that you could see some snowfall overnight, and then about a 30% chance tomorrow afternoon with a daytime high of +1, and that wind will be coming out of the west-northwest at 24 kilometers per hour. In Cold Lake overnight, sitting fairly clear with the temperature dropping to -4, and that wind will be coming out of the west-southwest at 11 kilometers per hour, and then picking up to 30 kilometers per hour coming in from the west-northwest tomorrow with a daytime high of +2, mix of sun and cloud, and about a 30% chance of some snowfall. Here in Lloydminster overnight, the temperature will drop to -4, and that wind will be coming out of the west-southwest at 19 kilometers per hour, and there's there's a bit of a chance of some snowfall tomorrow, about a 30% chance in the afternoon, with a daytime high of 0 and that wind coming out of the west-northwest at 30 kilometers per hour, making it feel closer to -17 with that wind chill, with a low of -4 for tomorrow. On Thursday, a mix of sun and cloud with a high of -6 and a low of -10, with that wind chill making it feel closer to -28. And then on Friday, things start to cool up just a little bit with a high of -15, which will feel closer to -28 and a low of -21. That is a look at your 3-day forecast. We'll have more news coming up after the break.
Welcome back. Alberta Agriculture says the 2020 update to its Blue Book is now available. It includes information on newly registered pesticide products, including herbicides, insecticides, and seed treatments. This edition includes some significant changes in some products, crops covered, and usage instructions that will give producers more options. It recommends that the pesticides products be selected based on chemical group and active ingredients. Harry Brock, co-editor of the Blue Book, says the publication also includes a table that lists herbicides by their mode of action. And grain movement backlog and the carbon tax will be among the issues raised at the annual meeting of the Saskatchewan Association of Rural Municipalities. The convention opened yesterday in Regina. Association President Ray Orb says he hopes the federal government will provide some support for farmers who faced a tough harvest and costly carbon tax on fuel used for drying grain. He says there are still a lot of crops that are still out. More than 2,000 rural municipal delegates are expected to attend the convention. And now here are your agriculture prices for today.
We're a part of less than 5% of Canadian auto body shops and Lloydminster's only locations with certified collision care recognition at City Centre Auto Body.
Well, Friday night, Mount Joy held their first ever night ski. So what is night skiing, you might ask? Well, it's the exact same as skiing, but at night, of course. Our Evan Kenny has more on that and the challenges of trying to snowboard in the dark.
From staff to food to lights, there was plenty Mount Joy President Ray Tatro had to prepare for the night.
There is a fair bit of work that goes into setting up these lights and making sure the snow's in good condition. And we've had great support from the rental companies in town.
This was the first ever night ski that Mount Joy hosted. It wasn't one person who had the idea, but rather ideas snowballing together.
As to where it started, and I can't place a spot. I think it was, what could we do to bring out more people, and how ideas evolve into an actual plan and a vision, and here we are tonight.
Personally, I haven't been on a hill in quite some time, and to add to that, I've never snowboarded, so I thought, what better time than now? I strapped on the bindings and got my own personal lesson from Adam Peters. We started off with the basics.
Well, we taught you how to stop, because that's generally important, but stop just about got you turning from heel to toe. Yeah, got you on your heels pretty good.
I was going all right for a while, but after a couple of falls, or maybe a couple dozen falls, I called it quits. For people who really shred the slopes, night skiing is something they hope to see again.
Well, it's quite a difference. It's a lot of fun. I don't know what it is about it, but it's just a lot more, it's a very cool experience. If you haven't tried it, you definitely should.
If everything goes to plan, Mount Joy is hoping to stay open until March 22nd. Evan Kenny, Primetime Local Sports.
The Lakeland women's basketball team is making Rustlers history in more ways than one. Our Montana Getty has more.
How does it feel to make history? don't know. I think we're on a pretty big high right now.
On Saturday, the women's basketball team brought home the first ACAC championship banner in Rustlers women's basketball history after beating the Keanu Huskies 64-50 in the final.
Last year winning bronze, we were super pumped about that, just getting like the women's basketball first medal at Lakeland. But yeah, like to actually say we're champions, it's kind of surreal.
I mean, that's something that you're going to take with you for the rest of your life, and to share it with like 10 other people is pretty unbelievable.
The women's team also clinched a spot at the College Women's Basketball Nationals for the first time in Rustlers history.
We were saying about how we won our semi, and we were just so ecstatic because we were going to nationals and our season wasn't over. And so then winning gold, we're obviously like really happy.
Head coach Chris King says after endless hours of hard work and bringing his team to a 19-5 season, he couldn't be more proud.
Well, I didn't do anything technically. The girls did. Yeah, it's a pretty great feeling for us. The program's been striving towards this for 12 years, so to finally get here, it's really overwhelming.
But now that the first barrier is out of the way, King and his team are already looking ahead.
Same hope. We don't go to any tournament expecting less than winning it. We know that it's the best of the best, so hopefully we can continue our play for Medicine Hat and play well as a team. With us having 8 scoring options, I think we're very hard to defend, and hopefully the teams at Nationals will feel that way as well.
The Rustlers will be heading to Nanaimo, BC on March 17th for Nationals. Montana Getty, Primetime Local Sports.
And now for another look at your evening weather with our Abby St. John.
Thanks, Judy. Taking a look at our satellite radar, heavier cloud coverage making its way here into Lloydminster. We're going to be seeing a little bit more cloud coverage overnight tonight, and there's a bit of a chance that we could see some snowfall tomorrow, about a 30% chance. Cold Lake also has that same 30% chance, and on the Saskatchewan side, down in North Battleford as well, that 30% chance in the afternoon of some snowfall. For the most part, it's just heavier cloud coverage, and there are some regions overnight that will experience some snowfall or could experience some snowfall overnight tonight. Current temperatures -2 here in Lloydminster, as well as out in North Battleford and St. Walburg, 2 out in Macklin, -1 in Maidstone and Meadow Lake, and in Green Lake and Pierceland, 0 in Isle La Crosse. And on the Alberta side, -2 in Marwayne, St. Paul, and in Vegreville, +2 down in Provost, -1 in Vermilion and Bonnyville, +1 in Edmonton, 3 in Lac La Biche, and 0 in Cold Lake. And tomorrow, 0 here in Lloydminster, as well as out in Marwayne and St. Paul and down in Provost, 1 in Wainwright, Vermilion, Bonnyville, and Lac La Biche, and 2 in Cold Lake, Vegreville, and in Edmonton. And on the Saskatchewan side, 0 in Isle La Crosse, 2 in Green Lake and down in Macklin, 1 in Pierceland, Meadow Lake, St. Walburg, and North Battleford, and 0 out in Maidstone. Overnight across the region, Isle La Crosse, Pierceland, Paradise Hill, and Murnum could experience some snowfall overnight tonight, heavier cloud coverage in Meadow Lake, Bonnyville, Provost, and Unity, and then clearer skies in Wainwright. -5 in Meadow Lake, -6 in Isle La Crosse and Unity, -4 in Pierceland, -7 in Paradise Hill, -3 in Bonnyville, Provost, Murnum, and Wainwright for your overnight temperatures. Your school day forecast for tomorrow at 8 a.m. it'll be -3 with a mix of sun and cloud. Our recess time, it'll be around -2 with that same mix of sun and cloud, and there's about a 30% chance of some snowfall during the afternoon. At lunchtime, it'll be around -1 and then 0 by the time school is out for the day. Over the next 7 days, a high of 0 and a low of -4 for tomorrow. And then on Thursday, a mix of sun and cloud with a high of -6 and a low of -10. Things cool off on Friday with a high of -15 and a low of -21. On Saturday, a 69% chance of snow with a high of -16 and a low of -22. On Sunday, a high of -14 and a low of -25. And then things warm back up on Monday with a high of -9 and a low of -18 with a fairly sunny day. And then on Tuesday, a mix of sun and cloud with a high of -6 and a low of -19. That is a look at your 7-day forecast. We'll have more news in the question of the day coming up after the break.
course, it's that time for Question of the Day. The question: live shows like Jeopardy and Wheel of Fortune are canceling audience attendance, and events like Coachella are talking about postponing due to the coronavirus. And what are your thoughts? And I thought it was a good idea. I think sometimes you should cancel those things. There's too many people getting infected, so that's a big, huge place, but a big hit in terms of their money, right? They're going to lose a lot of money.
Yeah, I think, in those instances, okay, I kind of get it. It's still, at a point where it's not too extreme, but I still understand why they have been choosing to, not let in live audiences.
Yep.
Sports teams are doing it as well, not allowing any live spectators, and I get it. It makes sense. You want to protect as many people as possible from the possibility of spreading it even further. And then for Jeopardy, Alex Trebek has cancer, so he's more susceptible to, unfortunately passing away if he were to get the coronavirus.
Of course, and whenever you're older, obviously they're worried about their people. And I think it's fine not having an audience in your place when you're, creating the show and stuff like that. We get to see it at home, so it's fine. So it's protecting the people that work there, which is an important thing. But for Coachella, I know they're going to lose a lot of money, and a lot of people are disappointed because they bought the tickets. They're ready to go.
And hopefully they can get a refund, because those tickets are not cheap at all.
Yeah.
If you're going, you are spending a large chunk of money, and so having it postponed, hopefully they can still use their tickets when it comes around, or they get a full refund. But it's definitely going to upset a lot of goers.
Goers, for sure. And what's not upsetting, what's really fun, is watching these pets. Thanks for sending your pet pics for a chance to win a gift card from the Pet Pad.
We want to see your pets. Send photos of your pet and their name to our Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram to have them featured on Pet of the Day. Your name will be entered into a weekly draw for a gift certificate from the Pet Pad.
I'm joined here with Becca from the SPCA, and she's brought in Nova. And if you remember last week, we had Naomi in. Well, this is Mama.
Yes.
Very adorable husky, I believe. Congratulations on Naomi getting adopted, the last of the litter. And now Mom's just left. Tell me a little bit about how she came in to the SPCA.
Yeah, she came in as a stray kind of deal. So when she did come in, she was pregnant. So I believe it was maybe about a week after she had her puppies. So once her stray hold was up, then she went out into foster. And at about 6 weeks, she was pretty sick of the puppies and was ready to leave the nest herself. And then, so she came back to the shelter, and she just got spayed last week. So now she's finally ready for her home.
Now, she is still a puppy herself, so she does require a little bit more attention, more training, definitely. Making sure that she stays in her kennel all day and stuff. So she's more geared towards a specific type of home. We were talking a little bit about.
Yeah, like we think that she would be, really good in a home where either if you exercise a lot yourself, then that's great. Like we think she's about 3 years old. So I mean, in normal dogs, they've kind of started to calm down a little bit by that point. But huskies are just a different breed of their own. So she has lots of energy. She is able to climb her chain link kennel. So she is in a covered one. So we think that an acreage would be a really good idea for her. We don't know how she is around livestock, so it's always a trial and error kind of thing as well too. But she's really good. Like, she loves human interaction. She hasn't seemed to have any issues with any humans whatsoever, any size humans. So I mean, like she's really good. She just needs that training.
And she's young enough where she'll still be, she's not set in her ways, so she is trainable, definitely.
Yeah, very treat motivated, as you can see.
And how is she walking past like the cat condos or the kennels, or seeing them daily?
Good, yeah. Like I said, she knows how to climb the chain link, so she was out for a full night the other night. And again, we're always upfront with everybody, so she did cause a little bit of destruction. So that's why we really recommend her her to go to a home where she can burn off that energy. But she passed the cats all day. Of course, they're all in a tussle about it, but she was just checking everybody out and having a good time. But yeah, so obviously they weren't out of their kennels either, so we don't know how she would be if they were out, but I think she's just such a gentle-natured dog. I think she would just want to play.
And we were talking a little bit, your numbers have gone down,
Yes.
both cats and dogs, so you're calling off the wait list.
Yes.
How has that been, being able to, you know, kind of be in this calm state as of right now?
You know, it's kind of the calm before the storm. We kind of call it. We anticipate kitten season is kind of around the corner, so we're enjoying it being a bit quiet, and then being able to call at least for sure the adult cats off of, you know, the stray cats that people have been so willing to hold on to it for us. So I mean, it's nice to even be able to finally, you know, help them out by getting the cats in. So I mean, we have found that, you know, people have found either the owners or found, you know, new homes for them. So that's nice as well too. But yeah, it is nice to be able to finally call off that waiting list and give those people a break as well.
And you did have a surge of dogs and puppies and litters
Yes.
coming in.
Yeah.
How has that been? Have the numbers gone down? You have adopted quite a lot of puppies.
Yeah.
Her litter specifically.
Yeah, so yeah, her litter went, and then one from our little Pyrenees cross litter has gone as well. So they're still in the big kennel, and then we have a couple adult dogs still. But yeah, it's really nice. You know, we have done those adoptions and lowered the numbers nicely. So it is nice, because normally we don't really have this high of number in dogs. Puppies seems to have been a big one this year for us. Since December, we've had constant puppies in. So it's you know, it is what it is, but you know, it's nice that it's lower and we have the space for the other animals that need it.
And really quickly, is there anything special coming up, or is it just business as usual?
Yep, business as usual. We're kind of getting caught up, you know, with the smaller number of staff. We're getting caught up on all that extra stuff that we're wanting to start and get out in the community with. So yeah, nothing you know, around the corner, but we are starting to plan some things.
All right, well, thank you so much for coming in, and thank you for bringing in Nova, and hopefully
Yes.
she finds her forever home, just like her little pups.
Manage your waste and recyclables with Quick Pick Waste Disposal. 100% locally owned and proud to serve and support the communities we call home. Quick Pick, the convenient solution to avoid pollution.
Furniture set and design supplied by Furniture Gallery and Furniture House, downtown Lloydminster.
Today I'm joined here with Constable Michael Hagel with the RCMP here in Lloydminster, and today we're going to be talking about a session that he's going to be speaking at in the next couple of weeks on crime prevention through environmental design. Thank you so much for coming in. It's always a pleasure to have you in here.
Thank you for inviting me.
Of course. So tell me a little bit, when I saw that you were speaking, the term environmental design kind of caught my eye, because I've never really heard crime prevention and that in the same sentence. So can you tell me a little bit about what that means or what that looks like?
So basically, it's a new crime prevention initiative that the RCMP has been rolling out for the last couple of years. And what it means is having a well-lit work area, a well-lit yard, fences, security cameras, basic kind of common sense ideas that maybe people haven't really thought about.
Now, when you say get like extra security and stuff, sometimes that could be like, oh, I don't want to be super paranoid. I don't want to look like I'm being paranoid that someone is definitely going to, you know, break into my house or steal something. But what should people, I guess, be aware of or be a little bit cautious of, and not so much on the paranoia side?
It's not paranoid to be prepared. If you're leaving for a long holiday, talk to your neighbors. Have someone come by, check your mail, shovel your walks in the wintertime, make it look like somebody's home. It's not paranoia to be prepared.
And so when you speak, what will people expect to hear from you, or what should they expect to take away from or learn from listening to you?
Like I said, it's basically just tips and suggestions that the RCMP have found are successful in preventing crime in your business. The presentation I'm giving is very tailored towards commercial properties, but there is a piece on the residential side you can take away from it.
And so when you go back on, you know, making sure you have the right measures for when going on a holiday or just going out, What should, I guess, people keep in mind, you know, not necessarily like the security cameras or that kind of security, but what should they, I guess, keep in mind in case someone does break into their house and they don't have those extra measures, but they do have, you know, the well-lit yard, but they don't have the extra security like cameras to go back to?
For something like that, I'd always suggest keeping track of what kind of property you actually own. Serial numbers. So if you have a big flat screen TV, it's better to tell us, oh, I had a 65-inch LG TV with this serial number. We can retrieve your property back. But if it's just, oh, I have a large TV, it's not very likely we're going to recover your property. So a lot of these tips are based around keeping track of your own property too, and making it more difficult for a bad guy to steal your stuff.
And in the part of, you know, getting those extra details on those items that people do own, when they do call in, say someone does break in or someone does steal something just a little bit more unique, a little bit more valuable, how can they, you know, I guess entrust that they could get it back, or, you know, that you guys are doing what you guys need to do to find those items?
If you have something unique or very valuable, take a picture of it. Take a photograph of a serial number of it. Anything that's unique about it, has a certain crack or a certain color scheme, please let us know. The more detailed of information you can give on what the item was, the more likely you are to get it back.
And as a officer, have you ever been approached by people who say, oh, those things are so silly or they're so minute? What do you say to those people who do think like taking pictures of all their valuable items or remembering those small little details? What do you say to those people who do think those little tasks are just a little bit silly?
Well, your insurance company will thank you as well, because again, if your house is broken into and you decide to get your value back through your insurance company, again, if you say I just have a TV, they're going to give you the cheapest, smallest TV they can find. But if you're more detailed in what you own, you're going to get your property back from your insurance as well.
And going back to the environmental design portion of that statement, what does that mean environmental-wise? Because when you think environment, you think about the outdoors, you think about the weather and those kind of things. What does it mean within crime prevention?
Walks are shoveled. It makes it look like your home. Your bushes are trimmed. Your property looks neat. It's a broken window theory. So the theory says that in property or areas that there's lots of broken windows, people think that the police aren't patrolling it, and nobody cares. But if your property is well maintained and it looks like people are going in and out and it's clean, it's less likely to be burglarized.
All right. Well, thank you so much for coming in and explaining what that is for people like myself who didn't really understand, and then just those little steps to take in order to protect yourselves, your family, and of course your property as well from being broken into. So thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Taking a look at your 7-day forecast, a high of 0 and a low of -4 for tomorrow with a bit of a chance of some snowfall in the afternoon. And then on Thursday, a high of -6, high of -15 on Friday, -16 on Saturday with a 69% chance of snow, -14 on Sunday, and then things warm back up again on Monday with a high of -9 and -6 on Tuesday to wrap up your 7-day forecast.
It looks pretty good tomorrow and today, but then it gets bad and I don't like it.
Just like last weekend.
I know, what is that? It's only the weekends that it makes it bad.
Sunday was very nice and very sunny out, so that was nice, but Saturday, that was a horrible day.
Horrible thing. And speaking of this thing, I want to say a shout out to Liz, who I met yesterday at Shoppers Drug Mart and said she watches the show every day religiously. Thank you for watching the show. Really appreciate it. And I just wanted to say it was really nice meeting you yesterday, and I'm glad you're watching the show. So thank you. That's awesome.
Yeah, that is awesome.
Yeah, exactly. And anyway, we're ending the show, but thanks for watching, everybody, and we'll see you again tomorrow.